On this episode of Beck Trekkin', we discover Capitol Reef National Park.
It was quite an interesting drive through rain and wind. And the higher we got, the colder it got. Of course, the truck isn't clean anymore. And there's snow all over the desert. The mountains are covered. People coming towards us down off the mountain, their vehicles were completely covered with snow. So we're just stopped at this little viewpoint now, Panorama Point. And we were chatting with another couple who came through the mountains this morning, and they said there was at least 4 to 6 inches of snow and zero visibility. So glad we weren't going through that, but that's where we're headed. So hopefully that clears out. Okay, so we're gonna head back to camp and probably make some dinner. Okay, I got my potatoes, onions, a little bit of thyme, rosemary, and then I also put in some pepper, seasoned salt, onion powder, and garlic powder into the mix, and splashed a little olive oil in there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the oven. Okay, got my steak seasoned up with the Holy Trinity: garlic powder, seasoned salt, and onion powder. Pat that dry, get a little seasoning on there. Okay, so there's a trick to this. You want to get your pan nice and hot and then put a little olive oil in there and then your butter. That will allow your butter to come up to a higher temp than it typically would with just plain butter. Okay, so I got the other side of the steak seasoned. See the butter starting to turn brown there. That's okay if it's brown. Brown butter is delicious. Black butter, not so much. So I've got my heat turned down to about medium-high. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in my herbs. I've got some rosemary. And some thyme. Woo-hoo-hoo! Snap, crackle, pop. So my herb garden's working out pretty good in here. I've got rosemary and thyme in here. And then over here I've got some parsley and chives. My cilantro is not loving the colder weather. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and baste this steak with a spoon. Just get all that oil up on top of the steak. That will help it start to cook on the top as well. We'll get a nice brown crust on that bottom, and then we'll flip it and be a nice medium rare when it's done. Okay, that steak is nicely basted. Boy, look at that nice sear on there. That's gonna be perfect. So the herbs are now on the bottom of the steak. It's gonna get a nice crust on the bottom. I'm gonna go ahead and baste this side as well. Okay guys, that steak is perfectly medium rare. I'm going to go ahead and pop it out of the heat, let it rest while I finish up my potatoes. Good morning from Capitol Reef National Park. We are in Loop C in the National Park campground. We lucked into it last night. It really was nasty coming in yesterday. Lots of rain. The lower level desert was flooding. So all of the BLM grounds did not look very pleasant. They were pretty muddy, but we lucked into the site and we were able to extend a night. This is the view that we have. It's beautiful. There's a 20-mile scenic trail that goes through it, so I think we're going to try to do that trail today. This seems like a great park for hikers, bicyclers. This is supposed to be the darkest sky in the United States, so we got up at about 4:30 this morning is what time I drug Ryan out of the camper to go look at the stars. We did see a lot of stars. We saw several. I think we saw like 5 satellites and 3 airplanes. I'm just sitting here. We had some biscuits and gravy for breakfast and some coffee. And Ryan is out walking Jax because Tate won't leave him alone. And Tate the Terrible is in timeout. Are you in timeout, buddy? Are you in timeout? Did Daddy put you in the timeout chair? I think he did because you were being a naughty boy. He was barking at everything that moved this morning. Okay, I'm going to finish up my coffee and we're going to head out. Just drive around and see what Capitol Reef has to offer. It's a neat park. Well, we went out for a walk and we're in the Grand Wash right now, which was closed yesterday when we arrived because was flooded, obviously, but it's pretty much dry today. The geology here is I find it fascinating. I'm just now seeing that cloud.
that I don't like the looks of. But we got back here and Ryan said, let me take the dogs back to the camper and put them in the camper because I think we could probably spend a lot of time back here. Gosh, this is so awesome, you guys. You've got to come to this park. I've honestly, until we started looking into this trip, I'd never heard of it. Capitol Reef National Park. I still don't know why they call it that. But before we leave, I'm going to find out. Okay, I'm just going to sit here in solitude for a minute. So right down there on that rock right there, that's where I was sitting. And now I've climbed up this trail. I'm going slow because Ryan's coming and I want him to make sure he knows where I'm at. The storm cloud's gone. He made it. Did you bring the sunscreen? Nope. Me either. You need to start wearing your backpack. Or we need to put some stuff in this little one. Need to rest a minute? Okay, we're over there on that point. About right there. Resting. This was supposed to be a half-mile trip. Or at least we thought it was. Clearly we read something wrong.
It was half mile to the trailhead.
It was a half mile of the trailhead. The trailhead, I think the trail's like a mile and 1.7 or something like that. Needless to say, we just weren't prepared. We were not planning to take this hike. So we were sitting there taking a break. And I was saying a little prayer to God because I felt my blood sugar starting to crash a little bit. And we only have half of a water bottle left. And I heard a little voice say, ask and ye shall receive. So this couple was coming towards us and I asked them how far it was to the arch. And started telling them we weren't very prepared for this. And they said, here, we have a water bottle. Here's some water. They gave us a couple sandwich wraps, a couple bags of chips. They didn't want anything for it. I tried to pay them for it, but they said just pay it forward, and y'all know I will. I'll pay it forward. So hopefully they find us on the internet and tell us who they were so we can give them a shout out. Super nice kids. Thank you, kids, for taking care of a couple old unprepared people. This is a beautiful trail, so I feel better about doing it now that we're more prepared. We'll have a little lunch here at the top, take a little breather, start heading down. Okay, well, just around that corner, we made it to the viewing point. So apparently this arch, the trail goes on top of the arch. And it's probably another 1/2 to 3/4 of a mile to get over there. I don't have it in me. Plus there's a big storm brewing. So the arch is over there. You can see the people on top of it. And there's a storm cloud right there. So I'm gonna sit here and have one of these wraps those sweet kids gave us and just enjoy the view and get my energy back and wait for Ryan to come back. Thank you, Lord, for your provision and your protection. We are so grateful to have this opportunity to take this trip. We've seen so many incredible things. We've met some really cool people. And we really appreciate all of you guys watching our videos. Give us a thumbs up if you subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. That'll help get this video out so people can experience Capitol Reef. So you can see the people over there on the trail. The trail goes all the way over there on top of the arch. You can see people up there on the hill. And there's the arch. Cassidy Arch. Okay guys, so I just finished eating. Pretty sure I just saw lightning over there. So I'm gonna go ahead and load up and head back. Ryan will catch up with me. He goes a lot faster than I do. I'm having a bit of an oh shit moment. I don't know if you can see behind me. I gotta keep moving. There's been 2 big crashes of thunder. I'm glad I left when I did, but I'm praying to get off this mountain, that's for darn sure. Oh, I can't stop. I gotta keep going. I just gotta keep moving. I don't know how to get down this. Oh my goodness. I don't know where Ryan's at. I gotta keep moving though. Oh my God. I'm gonna kill him. This is all his idea. Your name? What are your names?
I'm Dallas and she's Jill.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for leading me down the hill, girls.
Yeah, for sure.
Seriously, what I was saying about God's provision. Those girls were wonderful. Oh, I was sitting there thinking, how am I going to get down these steep parts? Because I knew they were coming. And this girl said they would rather go slower and make sure that I got down okay than to pass me. Wasn't that sweet? So, girls, thank you. Kids that gave us the food, I forgot to ask your name, so please comment below. And whew, almost back to the truck. And this is a wash, guys. If it cuts loose, this is where the rain goes. I can't stress how beautiful this is. That's gorgeous. I made it. Just in the nick of the time because the wind is picking up. Wow. Whew. I was a little scared there, but we made it. It's fine. And if it starts raining, we can still get out of this wash pretty quickly. It's not that far. If he turned around and started coming back down, he ought to be back pretty soon. He moves pretty fast, so we'll wait, see what happens. Okay, well, this is not a good sign. It's starting to rain. Well, it's a good solid rain now. And people are coming and leaving. No sign of my husband yet. I hope he's okay. Oh, there he is.
Base.
Oh, I was worried about you.
Base.
You ready to go?
Yeah.
How was it?
That's good.
Good. Okay. Well, we made it to the end of Capitol Gorge Trail, and we were pleasantly surprised to find another TRD off-road here. Look where we're at. It's just sprinkling now. That was fun to do. It's beautiful. Just the sheer cliff wall. Straight up. Little visitor to our campsite. Tate, you're so silly. You're a silly boy. And silly Billy. Jax. Jax. This river is part of the reason why this area is so green in comparison to the other parks that we've been to. They call it a waterfold area, and that's what's made this area able to grow so many fruit trees and be so lush. I'm walking to the Gifford house to get some fresh pies. They make about 28 dozen small pies a day. Sell them for $6.50 a piece, and they usually sell out. We were down here last night walking the dogs on this trail. And just over there in that fenced area were 3, looked like yearling deer, 2 doe and a buck. He had little baby antlers. So this used to be a Mormon community. No more than 10 families have ever lived here at one time. And the Gifford house was a house that all of the women folk gathered in and did their sewing and quilting and whatnot. Gifford House Museum and Store. See right here at the back, there's a peach tree. All these little baby peaches. This is the Gifford House. Let's go in and see what kind of pie they have today. Inside, you'll find many homemade items, including some items made out of fruit wood from the trees found on the grounds. I love these little aprons. My mom makes these aprons. They're selling these things for $46. Look at these cinnamon rolls. It's like as big as your hand. Pro tip, the shop opens at 8 o'clock. Get here early for your best selection and get your pies while they're still nice and warm. Man, I wish you guys could have smelled that pie safe up when I opened up that door and all that warm pie scent wafted out. Oof. I might have picked myself up a new hat too. I'm gonna walk back down this muddy trail and we're gonna head it up and move them out. Please subscribe and hit that bell so that you don't miss the next episode of Beck Trekkin', where we take you to Bryce Canyon and Grand Staircase Escalante.